Let me tell you how this, and I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade. There was a false story that came out that the judge asked for people to reconsider Meek's sentencing. Let me tell you how this works. If a judge looks at, and that's what, no, not a judge, no, the governor. Like the governor said that a judge has to look over Meek getting sentenced because it might have been unfair or it was unfair. That can't be the case. The legal system, all it exists, and really the justice system depends on this entire circle running fine. If you have the mayor saying a judge is fucking trash, it's not gonna work. If the governor of Pennsylvania says, I think his name is like Tom Wolf or some shit, if he says that judge was unfair, Meek should not be in jail, this is what y'all don't get. It's not about Meek at that point. Everybody who that judge is sent to jail, their attorney is filing an appeal based on that. That the goddamn governor cannot say that. Because if I'm a nigga who killed 5 people and she sent me to jail, whoa! You heard what the governor said? That judge is not fit to hand down decisions that should be upheld. Which means whatever she ruled against or ruled with, in my case, we need it appealed instantly. Everything is the same thing when they find out like a judge was like fucking on drugs from certain years to certain years. Every one of those cases has it like automatically just defaults into a mistrial. Which means you got to retry all them motherfuckers or you got to just let them out. You get me? So that's why you'll never see all that petition shit. Even if that was the case, they would just make sure they would make sure the appeal goes through. But no fucking public figure within the judicial / political circuit will undergo the judge like that because it's going to fuck up everything else. Everybody's coming out. So I'm letting y'all know that. So when y'all see those signatures, it means a lot. Meek could be the people's champ all we want. And by the way, I know it's a lot of posturing and angling for Meek. Everybody's acting like Meek is a saint. I don't have to repeat the facts that show the opportunities that Meek has had to stay out of jail. But fine. If y'all want to say he's a saint, cool. The judge is giving her ruling. Unless they can find something to say the judge is corrupt, which we haven't seen anything really acted upon or she even being investigated, so that's not happening. Y'all got to try to get an appeal. And if they find that the judge is being fair, it's going to stay. So those signatures kind of mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, unless Trump is going to pardon Meek Mill, you know what I mean? No, it's not happening. So, again, with all due respect to all Meek's fans, I'm trying to give you a little bit of reality. I understand when your favorite is in jail. And by the way, I want Meek to be out here because I love his music. I do understand when someone you like is in jail, you kind of disregard logics and fact. But just to be clear, those signatures will not force people to take him out of jail at all. It doesn't mean that at all. The New York arrest was complete bullshit. I said that myself out of my mouth. You're right. I agree. I'm not taking that back. My whole point on the Meek thing is that New York arrest was bullshit. I put it like this. I'm going to break it down like this. If I've given you 20 chances when normally everybody would get 5, I've given you 20 chances, right? And on the 21st chance you have, you fuck up on a technicality, and I said, yo, I'm done with you. On a technicality. Because that's what happened. Meek violated his probation. It's called a technical violation because anytime you get arrested, it's a technical violation type of like hearing could happen, right? So the fact that the charges were dropped, it means nothing. They'll still have the hearing. I mean, usually they would say, oh, okay, the charges are dropped, you're good. But here's the thing that people are forgetting with Meek. Meek has violated probation 4 or 5 times already. That's the reason why the judge is fed up. And when people are saying, oh, the judge is biased because the prosecutor and the prosecutor and the probation officer said don't put him in jail. Are y'all forgetting? These were the same individuals that 6 months ago, they said put him in jail. Or more than 6 months ago, like a year ago. A year ago, those two people that didn't want him in jail this time around wanted him in jail then, and the judge said, no, I'm going to take a chance on him. Because I heard Nicki cry, I heard all these high-ranking officials from his city speak for him. Meek is a good guy. I'm giving him one more chance. The judge told him then, I'm giving you one more chance. I know we're mad at how, like, we would have no problem if Meek went to jail if he had fucked up Drake. That's cool. Okay, we saw him on video. You kind of did too much, Meek. You deserve it, right? But we don't want to hear it on like a bitch ass charge like that. But all I'm saying is that Meek got a shit ton of opportunities to get out, bro. I can't continue to feel sorry for people who clearly didn't care about their freedom enough to make sure they didn't get in these situations. Like, an equivalent, but in a really dark way, is like, y'all mad. Say somebody died of a drug overdose. Y'all are now mad at that last hit of, or that last pill they took to die, more than being mad at the buildup in terms of a constant habit that has brought them to jail and rehab. Those things you never had no problem with. But the last thing that got them to die, damn, why they had to die and drown in the bathtub? But they've been showing you that they're a drug addict all along. They've been fucking up constantly, in and out of rehab, going to jail. Why didn't you have a problem? That's when you should have stopped it. That's when you should have really cared. Like, Meek, you're going to get to that point. You get me? We should have been up in arms when we heard Meek was submitting fake piss like a year ago. Yo, Meek, if you got, and to his credit, he went on interview saying, I was off them perks. I was doing some bullshit. I submitted a fake P test, but I'm off that. It's up to a judge how many chances they give you. Go look at the public cases, and y'all could go look this up if y'all really care. Honestly, I think Meek is just a guy that should never be jailed because he makes fire music. Meek, the amount of time he violated his probation compared to other niggas who don't have money, how many times they violate their probation before they get 10 years. That's all I'm saying. So while I do think, yes, the judge probably got something against him, and the little prosecutor and the probation officer, Meek also put himself in that situation. We can't excuse that shit. We can't excuse it. Like, how many times are we going to excuse it? Like, had he not gone to jail, we would have never said nothing about him not going to jail, and he get another situation, he still wouldn't want to go to jail then. Come on, man. How many... And, of course, by the way, I do agree that he should have been off probation before, but let's look at his lawyers and his representatives. Every time he escaped jail before, he agreed to take 5 more years of probation. The last time when he escaped jail, right? The time with Nicki, he agreed to take 6 more years of probation, bro. 6! So again, while we're saying, why is he still on probation from like 2009? Because every time when he violated and he went to court, the way he escaped jail is by saying, oh, give me 6 more years. Now, nigga, if you can't stay on the straight and narrow, don't take 6 years. Don't take it. Shit. Nigga, negotiate the plea that says, yo, let me go in for 1.5 years, and after this probation is done, period. If you can't stay free and straight for 6 years, I know it sounds crazy to think about it. And listen, God, please don't make me ever be in that situation, because I ain't built like that. But these are the options. You go to jail for 1.5 years, or actually it was more up to 4 years. Negotiate the jail time, or if you tell them you'll take 6 years on probation, you got to realize you're signing up for 6 years of probation. They're not forcing on you. They want to send you to jail. They want to send you to jail to get it the fuck over with. The fact that you're then saying, give me the probation, you're then saying, all right, I got 6 years to be on the straight and narrow. That's just how it is. Chris Brown was on a longer probation. You see, we keep feeling bad for these people like they're going to court and they're just all good and the judge is saying, take 2 more years. No, they're fucking up. And they go to court. And when they go to court, look, Cat Williams been on probation. We ain't hear a single word since. Actually, he did fuck up like 2 times, but we ain't hear a word from him in a while. He'll probably start fucking up once he gets off probation. He's going to get off in 2 years. So it's been almost a year now. Give it another year, he'll be back to the bullshit because he ain't on probation no more. He sits out the probation with the fuckery. Chris Brown kept going to jail after he fucked up and saying, don't put me in jail, judge. I'll take 3 more years. and I'll take some house arrest, and I won't travel, and I won't do this, and I'll go do fucking community service. And the judge is saying, you sure you can handle that? So yeah, just anything but jail. Okay, take more probation. Then you fuck up again. I'm just telling y'all what it is. When people are getting these, Meek been on probation since 2008. It's about to be 10 years. He's on probation. There's no probation term for 10. I could go back to his initial probation, I believe, was 3 years. In 2008, and then he fucked up in 2010, 2011, 2013, 14, 15, and 17. Again, I'm not making the rules. And also, we can't listen to this lawyer who's saying, oh, the judge is biased. If we're going to blame... By the way, this same judge, we got to do history. You see, you guys are too easily misled. This judge that Meek has is the same fucking judge that lied his ass off for Alex Rodriguez when he was taking steroids. He lied to everybody. Alex has never taken any steroids. They're just making it up. The Yankees just don't want to pay him. And the nigga was fucking injecting steroids every 30 seconds. Stop it. It's the same guy who's defended all the alleged rapists, serial killers like this. They call him the most hated lawyer in New York. What I'm saying is, and by the way, he's just doing his job. When I say that, I'm trying to say he's a liar. When you hear him speak about, oh, the only reason why Meek is in jail is because the judge hates him. He's not here to tell you the truth. He's a liar. He's Meek Mill's paid attorney. I'm not trying to be anti-Meek. I'm trying to be fair. I do think the judge is biased, but let's not just be in this completely twisted thing to act like Meek Mill being jailed is the biggest injustice ever, and we start comparing it to Mike Brown and look how this guy was treated. No. Meek has gotten a lot of chances. That's all I can say. He's gotten a lot of chances. And if he wasn't rich, didn't have all that resources, I'll tell you this. If you were Meek Mill and you walked into that court and you didn't have the resources to go buy 300 kids toys and bring them to the Sixers games that he could take pictures on the court and you do all these things, yes, when he's doing all of that, he brings it to the judge. The judge looks and says, damn, you are helping the community. If you're a broke nigga and you can't do that, when you show up in front of the judge with your two long hands and your mama crying in the back and not even your pastor want to come down there to even speak on your behalf, you know what the judge is saying to you? As a broke-ass nigga with no resources, you're going to jail on your second time you violated. Much less being able to violate 4 to 5 times. And don't get fucked up by my tone. I really like Meek. But I'm saying, broke niggas will never get the opportunities like that. Black niggas won't, and broke niggas won't. You add those two together, you'll never be in that position. So when y'all act like Meek is is the biggest injustice ever, if you were in that situation, you would have been in jail a long time ago for way more time. There would not be a story. You would never ever get nobody caring about you. The reason why we care is because we love Meek Mill music. And we all know, and whether y'all want to admit it or not, I'm just kicking real shit. When we do like somebody's music, we explain away crime they do. We love TK music. I do love Murder, She Wrote. The racist, But I know y'all love TK music. He allegedly murdered 2 people. You don't give a fuck. You want him freed. You will make up any excuse to say he didn't do it. He might have been in the car, but he had nothing to do with it. He was just going to Chick-fil-A for a chicken sandwich and nuggets, and then somebody died. You could do whatever you want because we love his music. We explain every fuckery away when it comes to people that we like. With R. Kelly, we seen a fucking plain old tape. He is long dicking a 14-year-old. And we will make up. People believe the whole little thing he said about, yo, I ain't got a mole on my back. The fans of him, oh, he ain't got a mole on his back. He right. They're framing him. Come on. Like, when we like your music, we don't want you to go to jail. And it's just a selfish thing. I could tell you this. That's why I don't speak on his case, because I know I'm biased. My favorite entertainer of all time, my favorite musician is not Drake. My favorite musician is Vybz Kartel. He's sitting in jail for murder. I don't want to ever speak about his case because I'm so biased because I'm delusional. I love his music so much. There's a voice recording of him talking about how to dispose of a body and planning a murder. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to believe it. That's my favorite fucking artist of all time. I don't care. Get him out. I don't care. That's how someone who likes and who stands someone thinks. That's why I don't speak on his case. Because, yeah, I could give a million objections of why he shouldn't be jailed. Right? But the fact is somebody dead. And a jury believed that he did it. But I love the music so much, I want him free. He has an appeal coming up. I look up his appeal every fucking day. I love the music. That's how we are. So when I hear y'all going crazy for Meek, let's just slow down with lumping him into the many injustices that happen to nameless and faceless black men all the time
Nigga,
who don't have Meek's power, influence, and all of that.
Drill y'all.
Let's just be clear.
Say it no more.
You go to jail, Jay-Z is not speaking up on the highest platform that's going to fucking reverberate around the world that there's an injustice. He's not speaking up about it at all. And you could actually go down for some shit that you didn't do. So while I want Meek free and I want him out that he could give me some good music, I can't sit here and say this is the biggest injustice ever when I realize that Meek, because of his money, resources, and connections, he is way more well off than the rest of us. I'm sorry. Okay? I didn't mean to go on a rant about that. I hope nobody takes this and says I hate Meek. I'm really just speaking on the system as I see it. I might not know the entire 360 view of it, but I believe I have a very fair and very complete view of it. Anybody would challenge me on what I've said thus far, please do. I have 10 examples I could show you. They violated their probation twice. They went to jail for a very long time. Meek Mill has violated probation over 4 times. Let's talk about it, right? So let's talk about it. And I agree. The last time was bullshit. If anything, we should have been mad about the arrest. The arrest, I'm mad about his arrest for that bullshit.
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Okay. But anyway, I don't want to rant too long about that. Here's a silver line if you do like Meek Mill, and I do like Meek Mill. His music. When Meek Mill gets out of jail, he's sentenced to 2 to 4. I anticipate he's going to be on his bestest behavior. I think he's going to get out in a year and 3 months. Overcrowding, all these other things will lead to him not even spending 2, but just doing the mandatory minimum. He'll get out of jail, be in a halfway house. We've seen a story with Meek Mill before. Meek Mill's career will be A-okay. He's not one of those guys who, if he's not here for a year, we forget about him. He will be fine. For the next year, if you're a Meek fan, you're going to tough it out. Listen to DC4, DC4.5, or wins and losses. Rock out with those. Meek will be back. And if you really care for Meek, pray that when he comes out, his mindset that he had before going in is changed. There's a million other things. Y'all looking at that. There's a million other things that Meek has been involved with and have done that could have landed him in jail. We talk about it. Some of y'all who love Meek, y'all brag about it. Yo, he did this to who? He did. Yeah, we won't even mention specifics. But none of those things are good if you're on probation. You don't move like that when you're on probation. You move like constantly you have an illegal gun on you. You don't even want to come in contact with the cops. You don't want to make the blogs for anything violent. You get me? When you're beating people up at shows and shit like that, it's slowing up your own money already. Niggas don't want to book you already. Like, it's you know what I mean? Only the niggas in the streets who's not really doing shit and not really giving you money really give you props. So I hope when he comes out, I don't expect him to be a changed person or some like whitewash shit, but I expect him to realize I got to move a little bit better. Let me just move a little bit better because I'm still on probation. Chris Brown on probation, that nigga can act up. You say something, and even now, Chris Brown's been in jail so long and been through that whole process so long, he's not even on it like that. Chris Brown really used to be wilding, and that's when he was on probation. Now he's off probation, he's not even wild like that no more. That's the crazy thing. All right, okay. Keep your head up, Meek.